What's going on? Sorry about the horrible lighting. Definitely gonna miss some views on this one. But I wanted to talk about procrastination and things along those lines. Now, people have dreams, goals. Usually, there's two types of people that have goals and dreams and have them. And then there is people, because I have met them, and you probably have too, that don't really have goals or dreams and don't want to do anything big, or they don't really have expectations, no desires necessarily. The life's already complete, and per se, it's complete. Of course, it's not the end of their life, and there's still things to come, but you know, they don't necessarily have goals and achievements. And you might know some people like this, and I definitely do. And some people's goals are small, and maybe small as in the big goals. It's I don't want to say their goals not big at all, but there's some people who have, want to be famous, whereas if somebody just wants to work at a supermarket or get a college degree or just get a job or somewhere certain. You, and it all depends. I mean, how big of accomplishment I guess you really want, but that's not to undermine little things either, because it's the little things that actually build up to the greater things, and that could lead you to bigger things. Because I don't like making comparison, because it's what somebody wants to do, whether it's small or big, that's going to be up to them and how they view it and their perspective. On procrastination apart from that, I wanted to make a video about this to say, like, if there is something you want to do, you should go do it. Or make your way towards it. And I say this a lot in some other videos, but this one's primarily centered in procrastination. And there's some things that you might not want to do, and I've been, whether there might not even have nothing to do with your actual goal, but they're just part of your life and that fantasy. So things that are just way off left field, but if you do those things, they'll build up and accumulate in a collective experience, and maybe it'll lead you to some other things. But just procrastinate in general, and I'm sure we know a bunch of procrastinators. You can never get anywhere if you never start. And if you procrastinate, just think you're going to be with all the other procrastinators that are procrastinating. Such as a perfect one would be like someone who has a job that starts at 9 in the morning and everyone leaves at 8, or everyone's trying to leave early, whatever they think early is. Then there's just a boatload of traffic out there and you can't get anywhere. And this is a prime example. And there's homework assignments, deadlines for bills, phone bills, and just a whole conundrum of things. People always wait till the last minute. It's a nice jacket. I just wish it was bigger. Yeah, and stop procrastinating. Go and do that goal. Go and reach it, because no one's going to push you in that direction. You don't want to go there, because that might happen, and then you might learn a lesson then. But still, you got to make the step. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to force you. No one's going to push you. If you're on a diving board and someone's behind you, do you want them to push you in, or you want to just take it yourself? Either way, you're going to go. But you should commence it. and this will be real beneficial to you, and it always will be. A lot of people procrastinate, and there's nothing wrong with procrastinating. And some people, definitely done it before. It's when you keep doing it, you're making the same mistake, the same error over and over again. You know, life has a rhythm, and then once you catch that rhythm or see it, which most of us probably have, you want to live in that rhythm because life has, you know, a rhythm. And if you get into the flow of it, then everything's at ease. You're not uh, starving yourself. You're not everything's just perfect timing necessarily. You work on something for the exact amount of time, like, and it's not like a clock time. It's just like a flow state. Like, oh, this worked perfect, and then and you're like, I'm done and complete. It's not like, oh, I need to go a little bit more, and you keep pushing yourself. That's fine, but if you get into a flow state, everything you know will work perfectly. And that's what I call really being top notch and healthy, because you'll get into that flow, and everything will just be super easy. You'll love life. Everything will just be in perfect increments. You will never be in a rush or feel like you are. And even this will relieve anxiety and just make you feel better. And life will just seem perfect. You'll have the perfect sleep, perfect workout, perfect job or task getting completed and done. Can be hard to achieve, and I don't know how, if everyone's been in it or how they feel about it, because there's few and far between when it comes to what I'm talking about. It's the people who have it that just like, they just play. It just seems like their life's real easily. Life is a play. It is a joke, but they just like come and go, and it just, they never really stressed out. They're really cool and relaxed usually, and they're just in a flow. Back on the procrastination, stop waiting. It's never going to happen. And this is a big one, because it's the rat race / money that you need to pay for whatever. If you want to do something, you have to set time aside, or you have to build blocks or take those stepping stones to get there. Else, you'll never start. Some people want to wait till they retire. I mean, if that's what you actually want to do, but if there's something you want to do now while you're young and alive, and really want to do, that you actually want to do, because it's not about the money, unless you have to get money to do something, but it's about finding how you want to live your life to maybe make that money. And anything's possible. People do everything. People play video games and make money. People make a bunch of money off YouTube, set up stuff online, travel, work at hostels. They make money there, and bartend at a bunch of different places, and just a whole variety of jobs. Endless ways to make money, and a bunch of things online too. Whole bunch, including starting your own business. And like, a lot of people they have dreams or goals, like I was the first amount of people, but there's usually like two things wrong. One, they procrastinate, they don't go after them, and they make excuses, and they're waiting too long. They're ignoring it and being distracted. They're not going fully for it. If you actually want something in your life, you have to go and get it, whatever it is. If you don't know what that is, then what's end up going to happening is you're going to do a bunch of stuff you don't like, or you find out you don't like. But that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you should go something that really interests you. That's what interest means in its full power. Something that takes your breath away and feels like you're in the flow, in a meditation type of state, or that brings you joy at the time and happiness, and something you just you aren't looking at the clock and time's just passing by and you really love to do it. I'm sorry, I missed the video yesterday. I try to make a video every day. Aside from that, you know, and there is people who don't care or have little goals and stuff that doesn't matter to them. They don't want to do it. They're going to live in the same neighborhood they did all their life, or same area. They're staying same place, and that's what they want to do. I've met people like that. To me, I've always had. I'm just different. Sure, everyone is, but I had different goals and different things from these people. I don't want to have the same kids. There's nothing wrong with that, but people don't think or outside the box if they'd like to, and see different perspectives and ways of life. Basically, having same families keep doing the same thing, whether are they doing it willingly or reluctantly. It's maybe different if you own a business or a farm, but let's say someone's dad has kids and their kids have kids, and it's just like, keep doing the same thing over and over, which is nothing wrong, but people are free to make their own choice. That's to them. Someone's going to want to go do something different, go and explore. It's just going to happen. It's how it is. Don't be chained to a family business that you don't like, or because your parents are putting pressure on you. They'll go get a job of some sort, or go to college and be this, or follow in their footsteps, whatever it is. Do you truly Jew it? Crazy word. Do you truly enjoy it? Or do you feel connected to these people? Because what someone wants to be is happy. Everyone wants the same thing: happiness, secureness, loving, food, sleep, peacefulness. But most of all, everyone wants happy and connectedness. Whether it doesn't necessarily have to be with people either. It could be aloneness. Whether you might be an introvert, you want to be completely isolated, you want to be 50-50, live in the country, come back to the city, whatever it is. The main goal is just don't procrastinate and go and reach your goal and make steps if you don't have time. Are you doing it for the money to go get something, or are you just doing it for the money for the hell of it? But that's fine if you don't have a goal. But if you have a goal, are you going towards it? Are you putting money aside? But most importantly, are you have steps to get there? That's attraction. That's what a law of attraction is, in simpler form, if that's even the case. Are you really going after it, and whatever it is, because not everyone's going to have the same dream as you. None of my friends wanted to do the same thing I wanted to do at all. And of course I met people, and no one supported me either, whatever the cause was, ever. Only when it was something they wanted, it was always what they wanted. And we gotta look past this. And you gotta look past this too. Sorry for the terrible lighting in the attic and with that one light. I just want to make videos for the best of you, and so it could help you, ultimately help me. If it does, of course. You'll reach, if you want to reach like-minded people, you will reach them when, or the right situations, circumstances, it will come to you if you go. This is what the law of attraction is. I guess we're diving deep in here, touching base on it. It will come to you, when you go after it, all the other things will come to you. You won't have to worry about the money or what's going to happen, as long as you're doing what you want. Because then everything will lay out itself, and if it doesn't, then you can change. There's so many options and ideas, but that's the confusing part. there's so many paths and routes. You go to the grocery store, there's a bunch of things. Clothing store, there's a bunch of things. Apartment store, appliance, there's so many options. It's ridiculous. And it confuses you. You know, there's so many places in the world to travel to, so many things to be. But, you know, there's definitely something inside of you for the people that are goal oriented. There's definitely something inside of you that you want and you know you want, and don't ignore it. You know, we can dumb it down to this. There's people who want something, and the people who want something but never go after it. You know, there's people who are musicians that basically suck, but what they did was they just kept releasing music, and they became famous or where they wanted to be. You know, there's people who suck at speaking, but they freaking speak all the time. And the person that maybe should be speaking, which ultimately he's not, but he's not doing it, so someone else who sucks at speaking is filling in his position, but maybe getting all the glamour or everything that person wanted. And that's like a big case, because there's people out here aren't necessarily, maybe in my opinion, meant to do the jobs, and not to be a Debbie Downer on them, but there's other people who are willing to do the job for less, or put in way more work than them, and that they outbeat them just for going to do it, you know, showing up and being there and actually doing it, whether it's little baby steps, you know. But you have to be committed too. You can't just do a little bit. You got to keep going. It's better to do, you know, you got to be frequent. You got to do every day, or take segments throughout the day and keep doing it. It's always better to take little frequent attacks at something than one long journey. There's nothing wrong with that. And it depends, of course, on the circumstance. But one thing about the guitar, and I know this from experience too, you know, you tire. It all depends how much you enjoy the moment of that experience, or enjoy the experience. Because I would play, you know, the guitar, and what I learned from somebody who's real good at guitar, and he said you should play he said, don't try to play, especially when you're beginning, don't try to play one long time, like 2 hours or an hour. He said if you can, be beneficial to do it in increments, like 15 minutes. And because you just have to feel the experience, but your body adapts to it. And yeah, it's muscle memory, which a lot of things are memory in general, but you keep coming back to it, you know, keep coming back. It's just like if you do something one time, yeah, you might you might pick it up. You might just do it one time. But if you kept doing it and doing it, which is the main course here, repetition, repetitiveness, this brings it about, whatever you're trying to manifest or attract. You keep doing it. Another example is, you know, if you go hit on one girl, you put all your faith in this one girl. She might go with you. Who knows? She won't. But if you go hit on a bunch of girls and keep going, you know, you're going to know what's to look for. You're going to know how she's acting, what's to come. You're going to know what to say. Maybe you're going to have a boost in confidence. You might say something different. You're going to have different approaches, and for different people. You might run into other people. It's but back to root one, the procrastination. There's people that, you know, have goals and get distracted, go after money, go chase chicks, go do something completely that's not their goal, peak of the mountain, what they really want to do, and what's on their mind and what's in their heart, what they really want to do. And then there's people who go and do it, and it's what they actually want to do, and they go and do it. Even if they freaking suck at it, they still go and do it. These are the two people. One person doesn't go after. He has dreams and goals. He doesn't go after them. The other person has dreams and goals and goes after them. Simple as that. And usually, the person who has the dreams and goals, they are the ones who are so good, but they don't commit. And then there's people that it's usually the people that really have a dream. They suck and or fall a bunch of times and fail, make mistakes, errors, whatever you want to call it, but they keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, I couldn't tell you the amount of people that do so amazing that I've met, that do incredible things I've met. And obviously, at the end of the day, they did change their route, and that's what they wanted. But you know, I've seen people, and I know things change, but I've seen people, and they did invest some time into it because they were good, or unless they're just naturally good. But I've seen multiple musicians who are so good, but they don't commit to it. They don't, the whole spectrum and aspect things. Playing guitar is one thing, but if you want people to hear you play guitar, you have to make an effort to people for you to hear guitar. I've met so many people who are unbelievably good, definitely could have been famous and rich at least, but they didn't fall through. Artists, people draw paintings and stuff like that, they never committed. But I know a bunch of people who freaking, that are famous and horrible, and you probably know a bunch of them too. And they just kept going and pushing. They don't necessarily have to overdo it, but they didn't procrastinate. They took action. Overkilling something, beating a dead horse, that not really good. But when you get into the flow of things, you're just like flowing in and out. It's just like water, least resistance. You're like a fish that's just going, upstream, like it's nothing. That's what you want it to be like it's nothing. It's easy for you. Like you're not even there when you do it, but it's like incredible feeling, and it's an experience. So at the end of the day, ladies and folks and gentlemen, stop procrastinating. I just gave you a whole segment. If you have any questions, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Any video requests, check out some other videos, a bunch of other ones. Yeah, and don't procrastinate. You have a dream and goal for a reason. Not everyone has a dream or goal, and no one around you is likely going to have the same one. And no one has the same thoughts or ideas as in your head, and things are going to change. But deep down, there's something in you should chase it. Don't let peer pressure, family, outside influences, environment affect you. Or your beliefs that you can't do it. Even if you suck or fail, you got to keep going. Thanks for tuning in.